Well, hello there. I wasn't expecting guests at this time of night. I'm just settling down for my last pipe of the day and my midnight cap in anticipation that Father Christmas will come tonight. I'll tell you what, while you're here, why don't I read you a story? It's called The Night Before Christmas. "'Twas a night before Christmas, and all through the town people wore masks that covered their frown. The frown had begun way back in the spring, when a global pandemic changed everything. They called it Corona, but unlike the beer, it didn't bring good times, it didn't bring cheer. Contagious and deadly, this virus spread fast, like a wildfire that starts, or plagues of the past. Airplanes were grounded, travel was banned, borders were closed across air, sea and land. As the world entered lockdown to flatten the curve, the economy halted and tested folks' nerve. From March to July we rode the first wave, people stayed home, they tried to behave. When summer emerged, the lockdown was lifted, but away from caution many had drifted. Then came November and cases were spiking. Wave 2 had arrived, much to our disliking. Frontline workers, doctors and nurses tried to save people from riding in hearses. This virus was awful, this COVID-19, without a cure and dreams of a vaccine. It's true that this year has had sadness aplenty. We'll never forget the year 2020. And just round the corner, the holiday season. But why be merry? Is there even one reason? To decorate the house and put up the tree where no one will see it, well, no one but me. But outside my window, the snow doesn't fall, but I think to myself, well, let's deck the hall. So I gather the ribbon, the garland and bows. As I play those old carols, my happiness grows. I'm reminded of a time one long ago, with no central heating and probably no snow. Yet that world that seems distant was much like our own, filled with fear and pain and reasons to moan, where people felt God had left them behind. Darkness was plenty and joy hard to find. Into that bleak and desperate world came the news of great joy for young and for old. Of all things a baby born in the hay, to shine out a light as bright as the day. To say that despite how all seems to be, there is a reason for hope and there's a new way to see. That we aren't left alone to our own devices. A Saviour has come to free us from vices, to lift off our burden and carry our load, to guide all our footsteps on life's tiring road, to tell us that we are never forgotten in the gift of God's Son, his only begotten, that he is with us forever. So be of good cheer, let hope come alive and let love remove fear. Let songs be sung and let joy reign again, for God's children are made of women and men. Even for the most lowly, with nothing in hand, with no case to plead or status to stand. Christmas ain't cancelled, and neither is hope. If we lean on our Saviour, I know we can cope. In the midst of our struggle, of which we've all had our fill, is the tale of a God who is with us all still, who holds us and keeps us and knows all our pain, who shares in our struggles and feels every strain. The story still stands for all to hear, for us to receive as a message so dear. So this Christmas time with its strange adaptations, here's the good news for all of the nations. That God has so loved us, he has given his Son, that life might be found by everyone. I think it's probably about time that you got yourself to bed and waited for Father Christmas to come in the morning. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and get all the things that you wanted, and that story speaks to you. God with us still, and the hope of that this Christmas time. Merry Christmas to you. Oh, is that actually port? I thought you put Ribena in it. I took a big drink of that. Ugh.